Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have the Minister of Labor closes the employment forum and fair. The UPR party organizes its extraordinary congress. The party gives its unwavering support to the president. For the international scene, Joe Biden proclaims the return of transatlantic alliance at the United States. Welcome to our newsroom. The Health Minister Mohammed Warsama Diriye held a meeting with members of the Saudi medical mission that arrived yesterday in Djibouti to carry out a medical surgical caravan. The meeting took place in the conference rooms in the presence of many executives of the health department. The Minister of Health welcomed the Saudi practitioners who are sent by the King Salman Humanitarian Aid and Relief Center. The medical and surgical caravan concern pediatrics and pediatric urology, general surgery for the under 15 year, which will be carried out in the two hospitals, namely Peltier Hospital and Sheikh Hospital. It was the last day of this job fair, a day where young people maximized all their efforts, whether it was getting decent work and vocational training. This job fair served as a platform for public and private sectors actors to meet. Indeed, the purpose of the fair was to lead the immediate and direct recruitment and hiring, in particular through the Ministry of Labor's job matchmaking service for job providers and job seekers. After closing the employment forum, the Minister Isman Ibrahim Roble, accompanied by the President of the National Employer Confederation, Ms. Hikmat Daoud, and the Secretary General of the General Union of Djiboutian Workers, Mr. Younis Said Waberi, and United Nations System Coordinator Barbara Manzi, visit the stand to see how the interviews were conducted and consulted with job providers to share this experience, which will mark the beginning of 2021. Coming back to this initiative, it should be noted that thanks to a voluntarist and proactive policy carried out under the leadership of Djibouti's number one, the government, notably the Minister of Labor, has put in place this plan to respond to the urgent need for change and adaptations. Indeed, this job fair was an opportunity to invite the institutional and technical partners of employment and vocational training to provide advice on career guidance to young Djiboutians looking for work. The Minister of Muslim Affairs, Culture and Mumin Hassan Barre, and the Minister of Women and Family, Mumina Hamel Hassan, met Thursday, February 18 at the meeting room of the ministry. A group of religious guides, Murshidat, from different ministerial departments or public and private administration. The meeting was attended by the Director of Muslim Affairs and senior officials of the Islamic High Council. In his inaugural address, the minister emphasized the place of women in society, noting that Djiboutian women have won the wagers by becoming one of the country's driving forces, thanks to the far-sighted policy of the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh, who has made the promotions of women one of the priority of his social project by ensuring them all the privileged and essential components alongside men to achieve development goals. For her part, the Minister for Women and Family, Mumina Ahmed Hassan, was pleased to establish close collaboration with the Ministry of Muslim Affairs to support social mobilization, advocacy, and communication aimed at the abandonment of harmful practices affecting women and family, and also to enhance the values of solidarity and social cohesion. The Minister of Culture, Mumin Hassan Barre, in this regard, stressed that women's representation has undergone a major change at all levels of responsibility and decision making. Thus, women participate with great dynamism in socio-political, educational, and economic activities. On this colorful and eventful day, that Thursday in Obok, the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, made a donation of the 10 professional bicycle to the young people of Obok, delighted to receive this gift. The ceremony to hand over this batch of bicycle took place in the presence of the Prefect of Obok, Mr. Abdul Malik Muhammad Banoita, the President of the Regional Council, Mr. Muhammad Muhammad, and the President of the Regional Council of Ali Sabih, Mr. Umar Ahmed Uais, Presidential Advisor to the Youth, Ali Muhammad Dato, and the notabilities and several anonymous. After the handing over of bicycle, the ceremony was followed by awarding of honorary plaque of in recognition of former illustrious athletes present on the sport, such as international medalist Ahmed Salah, Roble Jama, Abdullah Sharmake, who fought to make Djibouti shine through international athletics competitions and aroused much patriotic enthusiasm. The Union of Supporters of Reform, UPR, held this Saturday morning's extraordinary congress at the People's Palace. UPR is created in March 2005 by Honorable Ibrahim Sheikhan Daoud. The UPR was born from a split in the front of the for the restoration of unity and democracy through with which the founding members of the UPR share the history of common struggle. Union of Reformers, as its name suggests, in the party of reformers who defend a certain idea of social liberalism with a human face. A year after his coronation, President Ibrahim Sheikhan Daoud will lead his party, the UPR, to the very first regional and communal elections in Djibouti on 31 March 2006, where the UPR will win seats in the regions of Obok and Tajora. The party returned to the UMP camp in 2007 and will participate in the legislative elections of February 2008 under the color of the presidential movement. In a festive and colorful atmosphere, the president of UPR has mobilized its members to engage in a debate on the political issue of the country. This opening ceremony saw the participation of 4 of the coalition within the UMP, namely RPP represented by the Dean Ali Abdi Farah, the Fruit represented by its Secretary General. Extended the mandate of the party's bodies and reappointed the party chairman and the member of the political bureau to their post for a new term. The Congress gives the full support to the UPR party to the UMP candidate Ismail Omar Gelle for the presidential elections of April 9, 2021. Therefore, the Congress ordered the UPR political bureau to mobilize the party's active forces to ensure a resounding victory for its candidates. The young UPR activist Ms. Saida Habib Sheikh did not fail to mention the commitment and dedication of the youth united in the noble cause for development of the country. The participation of the four of the coalition within the UMP, namely the RPP represented by the Dean Ali Abdi Farah, the Fruit Party represented by its Secretary General Ogure Kifle Ahmed, and PSD Vice President Muhammad Adabo Kako, and finally PND also represented by Vice President Kamil Musa Aleo. The Congress gives the full support of the UPR party to the UMP candidates Ismail Omar Gele for the presidential elections of April 9, 2021. For its part, the Secretary General of the party, UPR, Baragoita Mohamed Baragoita, recalled that the UPR is an important link in the coalition that gives its full support to the presidential of to the President of the Republic. For his part, the UPR President Ibrahim Sheikh Daoud recalled that for the continuity of the country's development, the UPR, together with the other parties of the coalition, is committed alongside His Excellency Ismail Omar Gelle with a fervent and dynamic youth who are here to support him. The objective of these morning meetings at the Sheraton Hotel was to combine success with women's success. The collective of women executive in public and private administration met this morning at the Sheraton for the meetings of its organizing committee, which brings together all women senior executives from the administration but also from the business world. The objective of this day to exchange and debate several themes relating to the women's the road traveled, the obstacles, all these to pave the way for the future generations. After the official panel discussions were held, which were a prosperous framework to present positive models of success and more broadly to showcase achievements, the meeting was attended by senior women executives, but also Djiboutian businesswomen, the Minister of Women Affairs, Moumina Hassan Ahmed, the representative of UNDP, Fatima El Sheikh, and the representative of UNICEF, Ms. Melva Johnson. For her part, the Minister of Women and Family, Moumina Ahmed Hassan, said the objective of this day to exchange and debate several themes relating to women, the road traveled, the obstacles, all this to pave the way for the future generation. A Coast Guard delegation led by Colonel Wais Omar Boghore, commanders of the Coast Guard, traveled to Pakistan for an important one-week working mission following an official invitation from the authorities of the Maritime Forces of the Republic of Pakistan. The purpose of the working visit was to build and establish cooperation and coordination with his counterparts in the Maritime Forces of Pakistan, namely the Pakistan Maritime Safety Agency, the equivalent of the Coast Guard in Pakistan, and the Pakistani Navy. Colonel Wais Ahmed Boghore, commander of the Coast Guard, was warmly welcomed with the honors due to his rank by all Pakistani maritime authorities upon his arrival in Karachi, Pakistan. The commander of the Coast Guard and his delegation first attended as observer the huge multinational maritime exercise Aman 21 organized every 2 years by the Republic of Pakistan, and which took place from 12 to 16 February 2021 in Karachi. Organized this year under the slogan Together for Peace. The multinational maritime exercise Aman 21 was launched in 2007 with the aim of promoting regional and international cooperation and stability in order to display a common resolve against terrorism and crimes in the maritime domain, including piracy. On the sidelines of his visit, Colonel Wais Omar Boghore of the Coast Guard also took part in the International Maritime Conference, which took place from 13 to 15 February 2021 under the auspices of the President of the Republic of Pakistan, Mr. Arif Alam. For the international scene, U.S. President Joe Biden on Friday affirmed his commitment to the transatlantic alliance, accusing Moscow of attacking Western democracy in his first major foreign policy speech to his European partners. Angela Merkel, for her part, welcomed enhanced multilateralism at the end of the virtual G7 summit. The first in the presence of the new U.S. president is a break with his predecessor Donald Trump. Joe Biden promised upon his arrival in power the return of America on the international scene. The American president also announced that he would not extend an invitation to Russia to participate in the G7, contrary to his predecessor Donald Trump, who has said he was in favor of the idea Russia was expelled from what was then the G8 in 2014 after its annexations of the Crimea, which was never recognized by the international community. Concerned about restoring transatlantic relations, he took part in the G7 on Friday and then by video conference alongside the German Chancellor Emmanuel Macron and Angela Merkel in the Munich conference, an annual meeting of head of state, diplomats and security specialists. This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us. Have a good evening.